Hello. Hello, BookTube. Hello, BookTube. It's Louise, the Big Head Bookworm. Lovely to see you. Hope you're well. Hope you're having a good day, wherever it is you are and whatever it is you're doing. Welcome back to another part of my unhaul. So, I'm hoping that editor Louise will have done something to the last two, which I recorded in one. So I think I'm going to have to record. Anyway, let's hope her in the past, in the future, in the past as you're watching this, has done something. And so this is the second part that I'm recording, but the third part that you're seeing of the unhaul I'm doing of my books. So I've got books up here and here, which I need to sort through. And I thought I would share them with you. So I've got a box now, which you can't see, but it's just down there, of books that I have decided that I'm going to put in the box and keep for about 3 or 4 months. And then I will look at them and probably just say, yeah, that's fine, they can all go. And I've got a couple of books here. Sorry, my nose starts in the wrong place. I've got a couple of books here that I'm not sure, going to ask my sister. And I've put the other books back up there because I will find places for them all once I've done this. The husband said they'll never notice you're doing this at a different time of the day. I was like, oh, well, I did tell them that I'm going to be separating it. End of last video, I said I'm going to go and have some lunch. I did. I had some lunch. And then I went out for a walk, and I did 3 miles. It was very nice, very cold. So it's now grey, and it's greyer and very cold and very dark. So hence I've got all the lights. I've got my ring light, I've got a light there, I've got a light there. It's not great lighting. Got a cat here. Right then. Let's do this. I think some of these might be harder to choose, but we'll try not to go over it, belabor it too much. So, Alan Bennett, The Uncommon Reader, a masterpiece of comic brevity. This was bought for me. I think I was given this as a Secret Santa in a book club. So that's ringing a bell. I'm not interested in it. Alan Bennett, hilarious. He's English comic. He does comic monologues. They're very bittersweet, very clever. Not going to read it. Tolkien's The Hobbit. This isn't mine. I'm sure this is the husband's, unless this is mine, because the husband's got one and I've got one. Either way, I'm not going to be able to get rid of that. Lives, the Universe and Everything by Douglas Adams, which is the sequel? Oh no, it's the third one in the series, which begins with The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. No chance I'd get rid of these. These are brilliant. It began as a radio series. Now it's a paperback. From here on, anything, literally anything is possible. It's hilarious. If you've never read or heard of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, sort yourself out, find out about it. Douglas Adams was a genius. We are huge Douglas Adams fans in this house, and we quote him a lot. Excuse me. All right, then, here we go. Susanna Gregory, a Thomas Chandler mystery. Decadence and deceit in Restoration London, a conspiracy of violence. It's a historical murder mystery. You see, there's part of me that just says, are you ever going to read it? But there's part of me that says, it would be really good. Now I'm going to keep that. I'm going to keep it. I'm really torn about whether to keep that or not, but I am going to keep it. I've had it for years. I have no idea when I got it. Winner of the Historical Writers Association debut Crown Award. Catchy. This is a world conveyed in convincing, terrible clarity. Laura Shepherd Robson, Blood and Sugar. It's a page turner of a crime thriller. C.J. Sampson, very nice. Andrew Taylor, I find a bit dry. Andrew Taylor, I find him a bit dry. I know people absolutely love him. Addictive. I read it flat out in one day, said C.J. Tudor. Again, historical crime. Yeah, I'm going to keep it. Oh, I'm going to throw it on the floor first. Yeah, checked it. I'm going to keep it. Well, that's just not a stack that's going to be aesthetically pleasing. Let's do that. That's better. Oh, well, should we be keeping this? Lewis Carroll, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. It's the vintage classic edition. Yes. That was easy. Oh, now see, I've got things that are in the wrong height. Ah, right. I am going to get rid of this. 6-4. I don't know if you remember, this became a bit of a... this is kind of before TikTok, but it was a bit of an internet sensation. It was one of those, I don't know whether it was a Twitter sensation or what, but it became a book that was really talked about. It's a chunky old one. It was translated from the Japanese by Jonathan Lloyd Davis. Hideo Yokoyama. Yeah, Hideo Yokoyama. This is a very nice edition. I picked this up from a doctor's surgery. 2015, 2016. When did it come out? That would tell me when I picked it up. Oh, 2012 it came out. No, 2016. 2016 I picked it up. It's the parents of a... It's about a ransom. So kidnap, ransom, murder. I read about 50 to 60 pages of this and I found it left me absolutely cold. Couldn't get into it at all, and it's this kind of murder mystery, and it was supposed to be gripping and people adored it, and there were kind of clues and what have you in it, and I don't know why that's ripped, but it has. Yeah, and it's such a good book and I really would like to get it, and it's got really good it's got memories of when I picked it up because of who I was with and what have you. But the memory of the book itself is just terrible, really, because I couldn't get into it. I'm sorry, but you're going. I'm going to move you up there and I'm putting you there. I'll be glad to get that gone, actually. Dower Physics, an exploration of the parallels between modern physics and Eastern mysticism. This was, well, at one point, this was such a well-known book. I don't know whether it still is. Do people still talk about this? I have no idea how to pronounce that gentleman's name. Capra. Dr. Capra. Maybe it's not a sir. Maybe it's a lady. Dr. Capra. Fritjof? I don't know who he is. No, it is a gentleman. Yeah, it's the Husbands anyway, so I don't know why I'm even considering it. So the Husbands, I'm not going to be getting rid of that. Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert. Do you remember? Do you remember the hype that this had? Do you remember? When you think back to like all the Oprah stuff and how like it was transformative, I'm going to have to keep that just simply for the memes of that. Yeah, because it reminds me of so many people, like friends that I knew. There was one particular friend who read it and it almost changed. It changed who she thought she could be. It's quite that is quite something. So yeah, I'll keep that one just for that. Oh, this is another one that's the Husbands. I'll keep that. Lynn McTaggart, The Field. It's this esoterica book. There we go. I'll put that there. I may have to take that. Nebworth House. Is that where he bought it from? Very nice. Nebworth House, which is a big stately home in Hertfordshire. Don't live in Hertfordshire. We used to live in Hertfordshire. Maybe he bought it when we lived in Hertfordshire. He probably did, actually, thinking about it. He probably did. Probably got it from a charity shop in Hertfordshire, which would have been quite close to Nebworth House. The Saffron Road, A Journey with Buddha's Daughters. So this is about female Buddhist monks. And it's quite fascinating, actually. I remember that being a good book. I'm not sure I'd ever fully read it again, like books, cover to cover, but I might well dip into that, so I shall keep that. Oh, this is a really good book. This is a really good book. And I should be keeping this to go with my biology section. That makes me sound dull. Ooh-wee. If ever you wanted to make yourself feel, bring it back to you. Sadly, how dull you are. 30-second biology book. So I bought this when I was beginning to study to be a pharmacy technician, because I just needed studying for the biology exams part of it. I needed to know high level bits and bobs about biology, and then I could delve deeper. So there are all these kind of things, all these genetic stuff, DNA and RNA proteins and synthetic. Actually, I might pass it to the son and see because he's doing his biology GCSE this year. So it'll be way too little, too not complicated enough for him at the moment. But anyway, keep that because he will. I like it, but it with the rest of my biology books. Ooh, suddenly not very popular. These are two books that the husbands. It's The Auditorium by David Bramwell and Joe Keeling, and this is The Mysterium. What are these? Unexplained and extraordinary stories. So The Auditorium, the tricksters, eccentrics, deviants and inventors whose obsessions change the world. I remember him reading these years and years ago and absolutely loving them. So he really liked those. So those are the husbands. I need to find somewhere decent for them. What is this? Life Worth Living by C.B. Fry. Literally not mine. Oh, this is my father-in-law's. This is my father-in-law's. Because I've just read the dedication and it's for 1943. And my husband's not that old. Yeah. It's a cricket. It's a cricket autobiography. Yeah. So I didn't know that. It's a cricket autobiography, that it was my father-in-law's. It obviously was passed to my husband. So you shall be keeping that one. How lovely is that? I didn't even know that was there. Keep that, naturally, because it's not mine to throw away. So, here we go. Strange Magic by Sid Moore. An Essex Witch Museum mystery. I remember reading this, 5 years ago? 6 years ago? It's quite groovy, isn't it? I enjoyed that. I'm going to keep that. Because I enjoyed that. Not sure I'd read it again. Oh, do you know, I think I'm going to get rid of this. This is going to make me a really bad bookworm. I'm never going to read it. Toni Morrison's Song of Solomon. Winner of the 1993 Nobel Prize for Literature. That's Toni Morrison. That's not this book, is it? This book didn't win. Following up her Bluest Eye and Sula, Morrison has produced a novel about the black experience in America that is extraordinary in its imaginative, dramatic feeling, its roots. No, do you know, I'm never going to read it. Let it find someone who will. This is another one I bought because I saw. Did I see this recommended somewhere? I bought this because I saw it recommended somewhere, but it is. Actually, this sounds a bit more interesting. I know who recommended it because she's quoted on the back. It's Susan Hill, the author, recommended this. F.M. Mayer's The Rector's Daughter. This actually sounds quite interesting. So, Dead Main, that's an unusual name. Is that how you pronounce it, Dead Main? I'm sure I'm getting that wrong. Rectory, might be. Dead Main Rectory is quietly decaying. Its striped chintz and darkened rooms a bastion of outmoded Victorian values. Here Mary has spent 35 years devoting herself to her father, Canon Jocelyn, and to her sister, now dead. Although she is pitied by her neighbours for this muted existence, Mary is content. But when she meets Robert Herbert, her ease is destroyed and years of suppressed emotion surface through her desire for him. I got it second hand. F.M. Mayer, Flora MacDonald Mayer. She read history at Newnham College, Cambridge. She initially pursued an acting career, but the ill health that dogged her life, recurrent bouts of bronchial asthma, and the tragic death of her fiancé from typhoid fever in 1903 drew her back into her family circle, where she quietly passed the rest of her life. She died in 1931. She was only quite young. Ooh. Gonna keep that. Do you know, that I need to read that. I'm not going to put that there. I'm going to put that on my books upstairs. I'm going to read that. That looks great. Here we go. I did not expect to keep that, actually, but having read that, I now see why I wanted it. Oh, The Rough Guide to Ireland. Yeah. I mean, I know you look at everything online anyway, but I always take a guidebook where we go. And we went to Dublin because I did a half marathon there. 2013. God, 10 years ago. And it was lovely. We loved it. We've been saying we must go back to Ireland. So it will be out of date, but never mind. Cloud Spotter's Guide by Gavin Preter Pinney, sorry. The husband got onto the Cloud Spotters Guide before it was really well known, and became a member of the Cloud Appreciation Society, which is a society devoted to the appreciation of clouds, as you'd imagine. And I remember him reading this, and he's got his membership was like a really low number. I don't know. I mean, you see on social media and everything like that. J.R. Ward, Lover Reborn. These vampires are hot, and the series only gets hotter. So hot, it gave me shivers. Vampire genre. Sounds great, and then you read out who's actually recommended it, and you're like, who the hell are you? A Black Dagger Brotherhood novel. This is like somewhere really low in this. It's somewhere kind of bizarre in the series. I have not read any of that series for quite some time. And am I going to trog through it again now to get to that one? No. This is The Husbands. I can't get rid of this. This is Ian McEwan's Solar. I'm not an Ian McEwan fan, to be honest. He doesn't really float my boat. The 500 Hats of Bartholomew Cubbins by Dr. Seuss. I bought this for a nephew years and years and years ago, and I have no idea why I didn't send it to him. Somebody can have that. No point keeping that. Essays in Cognitive Psychology. That's actually by my sister, so I will keep that. Instant weather. Oh, I've got some weird books. Instant weather forecasting. That was not me, by Alan Watts. That's Husbands. Predicting the weather by the moon. Not mine. Now, gosh, this needs a clean. Beginner's Italian. Goal, everyday communication. Category, language. Content, cover all bases. Go at a steady pace. Build your confidence to speech. Be where you want to be with Teach Yourself. Who remembers Teach Yourself? The husband and I started this. £20.99. Golly gosh. Are you new to language learning? Yes. Do you want lots of practice and examples? I'm not sure I want that much. Anyway, I'm not going to keep it. I'm very tempted to. I should get rid of it. It's got 240-page course book and 2 times 60-minute CDs, which I will never listen to. I'm actually doing Duolingo at the moment, and guess what language I'm doing? Italian. So obviously it's meant to be that I do Italian, but I'm not going to keep that. I'll probably get a message from the husband saying, we are keeping that. Because the two of us did it. That was before the boy was born. So yeah. Oh, now, I might get rid of this as well. The new novel by Ian M. Banks. Ian Banks and Ian M. Banks, the same gentleman. His sci-fi is Ian... Oh. It's in the bookmark. The sci-fi books is Ian M. Banks, and then his novels, general fiction, are Ian Banks. And this is a proof. When was it going to be published? August 1999. Sadly, he's passed away. He had cancer. I want to say pancreatic cancer. And he passed away. I loved Wit. I read The Business. I did read it, but I didn't love it. I didn't love his... The Wasp Factory was just, amazing. The Crow Road, that was very good. I preferred Wit out of all of them. I absolutely loved his science fiction. I didn't really have the same feeling for his fiction. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I should put that... My gut says to get rid of it. I'll put that on the think about pile, because I'm really not sure. But, yeah. Oh, here we go. I told you that I had several of these. Michael Connelly, The Gods of Guilt. What's this? Is this a standalone? Mickey Haller. Must be. Mickey Haller. I have no idea. Do you know, I think I'm going to get rid of them. It's decided it for me. So, the greatest living American crime writer. I don't think that's... I think that's a bold statement by the Mirror. That's a bold statement by the Mirror. I'm not going to read them again. I think that's the thing. That's the thing. I think I'm just not going to read them again. I'm not going to read Michael Connelly. I think he was very much, for me, he was very much of at a particular time. Sorry, my jumper's not looking very good. I just don't think I'm going to go back to it. And I think other people enjoy those. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Right, here we go. Vanessa and Her Sister, Priya Palmer. Now, I really enjoyed this. Vanessa and Her Sister by Priya Palmer. This is to do with the Bloomsbury set, and I was the Bloomsbury group. London 1905. It's mainly about Vanessa Bell rather than Virginia Woolf. It's their sisters. It's a mixed media book, I've just realised. I'd forgotten it's mixed media. when I was a teenager, like many people, I became just hooked into the Bloomsbury set. I read all the Virginia Woolfs, became quite, inspired by their kind of bohemianness. I think is that kind of confidence to live outside of society's expectations, which are so appealing to a teenager who's trying to find her own way of living. I just loved it. I loved the romanticism of the Bloomsbury set, and I didn't know when I bought this that it was about the Bloomsbury. I knew it was about Vanessa Bell, but I didn't realise how much about the Bloomsbury set it was, and I really enjoyed this book. It was a very good fiction book. Am I ever going to read it again? No. Let's pass this on. Somebody will like that. The Martian by Andy Weir. That's not mine, that's the husband's. Heartburn by Nora Ephron. Actually, I think I'm going to keep this. So Nora Ephron, very influential screenwriter and I don't know. She kind of lots of was she a journalist as well? The screenwriter of When Harry Met Sally and Sleepless in Seattle shows us that the pen is mightier than the sword. For Heartburn is her ronde de clef. I always thought that during the pain of the marriage that one day it would make a funny book. Ephron once said, and it is. She wrote another one about I feel sorry for my neck, didn't she? No, I feel bad about my neck. Collections of essays. Yes, she was just a journalist and, yeah, fascinating lady. And I keep that. I don't think I'll ever read it again, but who knows, maybe I will. Do you know, I'm not going to read this. I bought this on a whim because somebody recommended it, and I just think, I'm not going to read it. The time has passed. It's about transsexual. It's a coming of age book. That's the bit that puts me off, not the transsexual, I hasten to add. 1952, standing in a cold, wet Suffolk field with her family. There's many a cold, wet Suffolk field, let's be honest, especially at the moment with all the flooding. 6-year-old Mary Ward has the revelation. I am not Mary. This is a mistake. I am not a girl. I am a boy. Yeah, this is a coming of age novel and by Rose Tremaine, and I do not like coming of age novels, so that's the issue for me. Poisonwood Bible by Barbara Kinslova. I'm going to get rid of it. I've had it for years to read, and I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to do it. A bit of Fry and Laurie. You can see I'm getting on a roll. How long am I going to do this? A bit of Fry and Laurie, which is a this book contains scripts to the BBC series that rapidly perhaps becomes the most popular. Oh, I don't know whether I actually think the husband bought me that before we were together. Right, a Radio 4 book of the week. Charlie Connelly. Attention all shipping, a journey round the shipping forecast. I remember reading this. So on Radio 4, it's incredibly famous. I don't know if it's famous around the world. I presume so. We have the shipping forecast, which gives the weather forecast for the shipping. And this is about all the various areas. It's looking into the history of it, and then it goes into detail about each aspect, each part of the areas that are named in the shipping forecast, such as Tyne, Dogger, Fisher, German Blight, Humber, Thames, Dover, White, Portland, Plymouth, Biscay, Fitzroy, Sole, Lundy, Fastnet, all of that will be familiar if you listen to the fishing. And so they are parts of around the UK of the... Here we go. So if you can see, the sea around the UK has been split up into these areas, and the shipping forecast literally gives the forecast for those areas. And it's listened to by so many people. I don't know whether it's still as popular as it used to be, but yeah. That's actually quite a quirky, interesting book, which I'm going to keep, because at some point I probably would be interested in this. Murdered to Death by Peter Gordon. That's a play. It's not mine. This isn't mine. This is the husband's. The Establishment and How They Get Away with It. Owen Jones. The phenomenal bestseller. It's not mine. Oh, crosswords. This is for doing crosswords. Chambers word lists. I have to keep that. Indispensable general knowledge references for crosswords. Not that I ever do them now, but I do like a reference book. To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. This is my school book. I remember getting this, but it's also been, it obviously was second hand when I got it. The Quickway Crossword Dictionary. Again, love a reference book. Now, here we go. 3 books. Oh. Sarah Dunnant, Sacred Hearts. 1590 in the Italian city of Ferrara, 16-year-old Serafina is ripped from her family from an illicit love affair and forced into the convent of Santa Caterina. Hello. Renowned for its superb music. I loved this. I loved this book. Such a good one. It says here, Italian Renaissance novels. Apparently she's written others. The Birth of Venice. I loved this book. I absolutely loved it. Well, now I see I want to read her other books. Well, I'm keeping that. But I'm going to put that there because I'm going to take a note of the other titles. Hello, 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 hello. That's nice. All they can see is your sign at the top of my head. Hello. He's a good boy. Can you move, Ind? Indy, move. Or just sit down. Alice Walker, The Colour Purple. They're bringing out a new version, aren't they? They're bringing out a new version. Yeah. Do you think I should keep it? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh, look at how many is there. Right. Last book of this set. And then I shall do some more, tidy away, and I shall do one more today. Because we're on a roll, Lindy. Mummy's Angel. Who's Mummy's Angel? It is, in fact, Indy. Life After Life by Kate Atkinson. The Costa Novel Award 2013, which is when I read it. And I've got the hardback. No? Have I got rid of it? That's actually a different one. That hardback I'm not getting rid of because that's great. Maybe I have already got rid of the hardback. Follow on. What's it called? Sequel. Thank you, Indy. Yeah. Yeah, I think I've already got rid of the sequel. Well, why am I keeping this one then? What do you think? Just looking at those books to see if there's many more. Oh, actually, I'll get rid of those. I'll get rid of that one. Yeah. Bless you. I'm going to get rid of it. I'm not going to read it again. It was very good. I thought it was very good when I read it. I don't think I'd read it again. I might listen to an audio, but I don't even think I'd do that. So I'm actually going to get rid of that. Right, so there we go. So let's do a quick roundup. Let us do a quick roundup. What have I found? I have found this, and I'm thinking this could be a slow burn of a delicious book. F.M. Mayer. I will report back. Should you be interested in a slow burn of a delicious book? Sarah Dunnant, I'm keeping this one, Sacred Hearts, and I'm also going to look up, if I can get cheaply, The Birth of Venice, which is set in Florence, and the second in The Company of the Courtesan, which is set in Venice. So I'm going to look up, see if I can get those cheaply. I'm going to keep all of these. A lot of these are actually the husbands. So I actually don't feel that bad about that, because there are a lot of those. Not mine. So if they're not mine, I don't have to feel that I'm hoarding them or not keeping them. If you know what I mean. It's not my issue, kind of thing. I had this funny thing. I think if I have no issue about the husband never getting rid of books, he can do what he likes, or the boy, or the lad. If the lad wants to keep all of his books all the time, I'm like, absolutely fine. But I think I get overwhelmed in myself, perhaps because I have so many, and I, still gather so many. What do you think? Are you interested in this conversation? Vaguely. Yeah. No, you are. Oh, that's nice. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you for that. So that's fine. So the husband can keep those. I've got The Business now that I'm now wondering whether to get rid of, by Ian Banks, which is a proof. Tempted to get rid of that. Do you know? I'm going to. There we are. Whew, look at that. Made a decision and everything. Oh, thank you, Ian. He said, go, mum. And so I'm getting rid of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 books. Not quite up to the 500 I was imagining. Good any chance you can not hit me around the face. So, 12 books. Excellent. 12 books are going to go in the box. 12 books are going to go in the box. And I will look at them, and I'm actually going to mark the books, look in April, and I shall go through it in April, and I'm sure we'll get rid of those. That's great. Okay, right. Well, this has been great, BookTube, and I will see you again. I'm actually going to start recording in a few seconds. So for me, it won't be very long, but for you, see you next week.